Hello, we are the Geeks and Degenerates, and today is a special episode because it's dedicated to Kevin Conroy, who unfortunately passed away last month, and this
Hmm.
episode is dedicated to him.
Even though, oddly enough, he's not the main character in this movie.
No, but
But
like
he's in it. He's in it.
he has a big, really big role in why the
Hmm.
events play out the way they do.
Hmm.
And since everybody else is doing Mask of the Phantasm, I was like, you know what? Let's be unique.
Yeah, let's try something different. Because, of course, we want to try out other kind of Batman storylines, which I'm pretty sure you're going to get tired of us talking about Mask of the Phantasm if we
Yeah.
follow every other YouTuber.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, before we get started, what do you think of Kevin Conroy as the voice of Batman? The voice that defined a generation of Bat fans.
Oh, wait. Yes, I cannot say there isn't any other Batman. Because obviously there are. Like, Troy Baker does a really good Batman. Uh, Other voice actors for sure. I can't get them into my head right now.
Yeah.
Have done Batman very well, but I gotta say it's nothing like Kevin Conroy.
Yeah.
The man's voice is very distinct, and sometimes we forget that he does other shit besides Batman. But
Yeah.
like he is the definitive Batman. Yes, a lot of people can voice Batman, but nobody can voice him like Kevin Conroy. And it's kind of a shame since we're going to be talking about this.
Yeah.
Dude was still too young to go. Man was in his 60s.
Yeah.
Like for me, that's still too young.
Yeah. Well, cancer is a bitch. But yeah.
Man didn't even talk about it. Man kept it to himself too.
Yeah. Like another celebrity we know, which is Chadwick Boseman. We're like, fuck.
Yeah.
Fuck cancer.
Yeah.
Uh,
Got cancer.
Yeah. Well, for me, all I have to say is that every time I read a comic book with Batman, whether he's the main star or not, I hear his voice.
Yeah, he is the voice. That's the same as me.
Or anytime there's a Batman saying anything anywhere, like if it's in a school rule system or like in the library, it's like, oh, I read it in Kevin Conroy's voice. I have no other decision.
Yep.
Like, the man's iconic for a reason. Like, for years, that's every time it's not Kevin Conroy as Batman, I'm like, something's just off about this. Not saying they're doing a bad job. I'm just like, it doesn't feel the same.
Yeah, okay, I'll agree with that. Sure, as I said before, everybody does a great job doing Batman, but
Yeah,
the Arkham games wouldn't be the same if it wasn't Kevin.
yeah. I mean, Roger Craig Smith, who also did the voice of Ezio, who was the voice of Batman in Origins, and we were like, it's good. It's really good, but like, it's not Kevin Conroy.
Yeah.
So before we get started, how did you first come about this movie?
Dude, like, my brother was very obsessed with Batman, so I kind of just sat in the background just watching him watch Batman Beyond. And then, you know Toonami.
Yeah,
If you're old enough, you all know what Toonami was. They would start showing us. You gotta love it when a show has a 1 hour or an hour 16-minute episode that you know is a special and it's still part of the show and it's canon. And I'm like, oh my god! If Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles did it, you would go crazy.
yeah,
Because it's a big thing when TV shows does like a whole movie dedicated to that show.
yeah,
So when we saw this movie, I was like, "Oh fuck!" We'll get to the plot twists and the storyline later, but this is a first, in my opinion, my first Batman movie
yeah.
because it came out in 2000, right?
2001. Yeah.
What? And it was so good that my brother had to buy the VHS. Yeah, I still have it. I think it's somewhere in storage, because like the face, which I found odd as a color scheme, the face of Joker on the VHS is green.
Yeah.
I don't know why. I was like looking at it. I was looking at the movie. I was like, this face is not green. So it was such an odd color choice for the wallpaper, for the poster.
Ah, yeah, I got to see this like when it came out on Cartoon Network for like again a movie special. I was like blown away, but like I think I was taken away by my cousins because it got super dark, super quick. We're like, I guess I can watch Batman at this age. Okay, and then later
They
on,
like pulled you out of the room
yeah,
because I don't know if you noticed, they kind of censored some shit in HBO Go, which they do show this movie in. Like, I do
yeah,
remember some parts where I was like, wait,
yeah.
there's some parts here that they didn't show.
There are two versions of this movie: the edited and the unedited. And like,
Yeah, I went with the unedited version.
yeah, yeah. Same here. It just seems right. So, like getting into it, like you already know the premise of Batman Beyond that Terry McGinnis is the new Batman, and like
Bruce Wayne's retired.
yeah, old man Bruce, and
Yeah,
like
Barbara Gordon is the new commissioner.
yeah,
Mm.
and like what I do love about Batman Beyond is that he is so new to this game that he is not perfect like Bruce was. Like there are times the criminals get away, like the opening with the Joker crew. Even though he does his best to stop them stealing the equipment, they still get away. The crew itself is pretty cool looking. You're like, oh shit, there's a hyena guy, there's a scarecrow looking motherfucker, there's the Double D's.
Yeah, and I like they were the replacement for Joker. Like this is 40 years into the future.
Yeah,
And I gotta love the environment. Like if you've watched Batman Beyond before watching this movie, you could see the whole influence from Akira, Blade Runner. You see the monolithic buildings and a little bit of Tron.
yeah,
I love that style that they went with New Gotham. Like so good, so fucking good.
yeah. And then after they escape, Terry just goes back to Bruce. He's like, that's weird. There's a new crew in town, and they wreak havoc. They call themselves the Jokers. Odd name.
Yeah,
And it's revealed that Bruce has gone back into the corporate world, heading Wayne Tech.
Enterprises.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
Enterprises. Sorry, you're correct. And but his rival, I forget the guy's name, but he's also voiced by Mark Hamill. It's like who you wanted to get his shot, but like since Bruce Wayne's back, he's like, oh, I'm not for president anymore. I have to step down, and he's mad about it. And you're like, I feel like he is part of a bigger scheme, and which he is revealed to be later on. But yeah, things are normal, and you see that Terry can't really balance life and work because he's falling asleep in the club with his girl. You're like, oh, poor Terry.
This is the thing that I always like was wondering was like, how does Batman keep up with like going to Met galas and just like drinking cranberry juice, but just staying awake?
Yeah,
Like, how do you not just like fuck? And his girl's like partying, but he's falling asleep. Then he's holding the hand of another girl by accident. I'm like, I kind of feel like I've been in this situation before.
I also love the old man Bruce character. Like I love it when the former hero is teaching his next person to replace the mantle with, like Peter and Miles and Bruce and Terry.
Oh, yeah, but the difference between Peter and Miles are very similar in character.
Yeah,
Well, what I love about Terry McGinnis and Bruce Wayne here, these are complete polar opposites. Terry likes to party. He has a big mouth. He likes to joke around, and the man's pretty much Spider-Man, but without the web slinging
yeah,
and all the gadgets. While Bruce Wayne is the very serious, stoic type, and I love that change of pace. And
yeah,
it's as if Bruce Wayne kind of handed down the mantle to uh, Dick Grayson.
yeah,
So, like, I like that dynamic where this is a completely different Batman now.
yeah. And then like we go back to the Joker's crew, and the big reveal is that surprise, surprise, the big man you're working for is Joker, who is wonderfully voiced by Mark Hamill.
Yeah.
Like
Yes,
still blows
sir.
my mind. Like since I started with Luke, I'm like, holy fuck. That's Joker.
Yeah, and he does it so well.
Yeah.
And the introduction alone was so good, where you just see red beating eyes within the shadow, and you see the shape of his head
Yeah.
and the silhouette. And I was like, Yeah, that's Joker. But if Batman is like in his 80s or near 90s, how old is Joker?
Right?
Yeah, and there's an untold story between them throughout this movie, which they do go through, like they do explain, but we don't know it yet. But there's something that happened that we missed
Yeah.
and we didn't get to see.
Yeah. And like he takes out one of the henchmen, and the unedited version is a lot bloodier, or like more violent, because in the edited version it's a lot more edited quickly. We're like, oh, I didn't really see what happened to the henchman who got popped in the chest with a gun.
Yeah, bonk.
Yeah.
Yeah, bonk immediately. Just I got shocked by that because I was like, in the edited version, all you see is a blast. I think, if
Yeah.
I remember correctly, and then you don't see his body laying on the table.
Yeah.
They don't like showing that shit. But here you see it was like, oh fuck, they committed to a kill.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then later on, Joker does invade the party Bruce is having for his company, and Bruce is like, "Oh my God, how are you still alive?" Literally.
Yeah. Yeah. And you see him like trying to match his voice from old footage to the footage now.
Yeah.
And they're very identical. It's like, but how?
Yeah.
I saw him die right
Yeah.
in front of me.
I love how he's trying to protect Derek, because like he's like, you don't understand how dangerous Joker is, and how much damage he's done to me, this family, and this city. Most of
Yeah. Like, I do love it that Bruce did say that like in this kind of Gotham now, it's more of like people just trying to get attention instead of committing a crime because they're madmen, they're crazy. Here, this is probably Terry's first ever psychopath, like true psychopath.
Yeah. Even
And yeah,
I was thinking even Barbara Gordon is like, hey, drop this. Bruce doesn't want this.
yeah, because this is an enemy that it's too dangerous for a rookie like you.
Yeah.
Like even Robin and Batgirl didn't even want to deal with that shit.
Yeah. And like after Joker comes on and attacks the Wayne party, like there's a man watching TV, and you're like, I wonder if that's someone special. And like when he goes to Barb, you're like, he must be someone special.
Mm-hmm.
And then you find out later on who he is. But like right now, Bruce is like, no, give me back the suit, because this is too dangerous. I can't lose another person.
Yeah. Of course, they kind of had like a disagreement with like. I think Bruce just yells at Terry, and then Terry just tosses the suit away.
Yeah.
I could see where people were complaining that Terry's a bit of a brat,
Yeah.
where he's like, and then he runs off.
Because in this mind,
And
it's
they-
like, what? It's a clown that squirts acid from flowers. That's about it. And you're like, no, you really don't understand, kid.
This man gassed an entire newsroom. Please don't.
I just also love how stern and humane Bruce is about this. He's not like telling Terry to fuck off. He's just like, no, you need to understand that I am trying to protect you.
Mm.
This is for your own good. This is not
Yeah.
because I don't like you anymore. I suddenly find you unworthy. No, I just don't want to lose another sidekick. Because that shit's damaging. More damaging than I already am.
And then like we get the club scene, right?
Yeah.
With the again, I love. I don't know what you call it. If somebody knows what it's called, but this kind of futuristic style, it's kind of. I think it might be Adam Punk-ish, kind of a mixture of that and cyberpunk. I love this whole style of like the gigantic lava lamp, the odd-shaped sculptures, zero tables, just open floor. I was like, this is such an odd futuristic place, but it's so nice to look at, in my opinion.
Yeah, and the fight scene in the club is pretty sick. Where Terry has to handle business, and you can see he can handle his own without the suit.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
Yeah, like it's not an Iron Man suit. Like
Yeah.
it really is Terry
Yeah.
being capable. So I like that. I like that.
Yeah, and at the same time, Bruce is attacked by the Joker, and you think he's killed by laughing gas, Joker's laughing gas, which shocked me as a kid, because I'm like, but the show's about Batman. I know it's about Terry, but you can't kill off old man Bruce like that.
And I love the hints though. It's like Terry's like driving back,
Yeah.
and he's like calling Bruce. He's like, and Bruce puts him on what was it? On message. Well, what do you call it? Like the leave a message thing.
Voicemail.
Oh yeah, he leaves him in voicemail. But Terry's like, wait, it's night. Where is he? He doesn't do that shit.
Yeah. Like that
Also,
scene really reminds me of that scene in the Batman. But yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. No. Yeah. I know what scene you're talking about.
Yeah.
I do love the design of the bikes as well. Again, it is very Tron-esque / Akira.
Yeah.
They knew what they were doing.
Yeah. Thankfully, Bruce had an antidote stored under the table, which slipped under, and Terry's able to give it to him. And as he's recovering, along with Ace the Bat Hound, like every time I hear the name of Ace, I'm like, oh, so that's who you named your dog after. Oh.
Wait, who's Ace?
From remember the Justice League episode where they're battling? I forgot the name of the gang, but one of them is named Ace. It's the girl.
Oh,
who's
right,
dying.
the girl with the swing.
Yeah, but yeah, Terry asked Barb, like, what actually happened between him and Joker? Why is he so scared of the Joker? What has he done to Batman? And she tells him the story of, well, after Nightwing left for Bloodhaven, Tim Drake fell in the role and he was kidnapped by Joker, and for 3 weeks they couldn't find Tim Drake. And I do love seeing the 90s version of Batman. I'm like, fuck yeah, that's what I grew up with.
I gotta say, I really do love the Batman Beyond suit. But once Bruce came in with a cape and it was covering his shoulders, I was like, your Joker's right. I like the cape more.
Yeah. Love the scene when some guy just flies through the window and you just see Batman just standing behind him. Like, that's how... that's very, harsh interrogation tactics. But, if it works, it works.
Yep. And we do see that what Joker has done.
Yeah.
He pretty much kidnapped Tim Drake, brainwashed him for weeks, or tortured him for weeks. It kind of sounds like a familiar storyline. Jason Todd.
Yeah.
And once Batman pretty much interrogated every source of information in the city, we finally got to him, but it was a little too late.
Yeah. And it is disturbing to see that Tim Drake can only communicate via laugh. We're like, oh god, he broke Tim.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and we do get a cool fight scene between Batgirl and Harley and Batman with Joker. And probably this is the first time I saw Batman almost kill Joker.
Yeah.
Well, like around my age, first time watching this, I was like, oh, he's going too far.
Yeah, because he says he
Hmm?
broke Tim so much that he admitted to everything. You're like, oh fuck. He literally tortured him, this poor, again, a child, for weeks until he broke and confessed to everything, and even told him that Batman is Bruce Wayne. And that's the Batman off.
I love that though, where Batman was just wailing on Joker to the point where he was like, "I'll break you in two." He's like, "We all know you don't have it in you." And then Batman realized what he was doing. He was like, "Oh,
yeah,
oh shit!" But at that point, Joker kind of cuts his way out of it.
Yeah,
and stabs Batman into the in the knee.
Yeah,
and knocks him out.
In the edited version, he does the weird punch where, like, I didn't know he could knock Batman that far with a punch.
I didn't get that far in the edited version because I was like, I can't take it seriously.
Yeah.
Because I know deep down my 3-year-old self was like, there was more blood than that.
Yeah, same here. But I wanted to see what was the difference, and that was one of the main differences. Also, forgot to mention that Harley dies. Like, oh
dies.
Fuck! Not Tara Strong dies.
I need get Mama's bazooka.
I'm like, oh no, not Tara Strong voiced Harley dies. No. Well, she is the original voice. Arlene Sorkin was the original voice until Tara Strong came along, and Tara Strong is here as Batgirl. But yeah.
Yes. I did not recognize it though.
Yeah, same. So what happens next in both is the big difference between the edited and the unedited version, where Joker has Batman up, Tim has the gun pointed. In the edited version, Tim throws the gun away, he pushes Joker into a room which is slippery, covered with water. Joker unknowingly gets up, hits an electrical panel, and then off screen you hear him get electrocuted, and Barb's just like, oh shit, that's Joker. And the unedited version is where Tim shoots Joker in the chest, and Joker's like, not funny.
I can't say one is better than the other because both are fucked up.
Yeah.
And they thought that, oh, him slipping into a room then getting electrocuted from the inside is a way better outcome. Him being shot in the chest was like in my opinion, a more humane way to die.
Yeah, less Final Destination as you're like, Jesus Christ.
Yeah. Like, I don't know. But it was a very adult direction that they took with that, right? Like,
yeah.
Tim Drake shoots him. Joker dies, and I hate seeing that where he's sticking into him and then they fall face first. I was like, ugh, sorry. Then you hear his laugh slowly turn into crying, and I was like, oh.
Yeah, that's straight up haunting. You're like, fuck this movie.
Yeah. And then you see Batman just trying to comfort him.
Yeah.
Such a good exposition. That's how you do exposition.
Yeah, and then you learn that Tim did get help to the point where he was able to heal, but like Batman refused to have him be Robin anymore. To avoid
that shit happening again.
Yeah. But Terry McGinnis does go to the man we saw in the beginning who reacted Joker, which was Tim, who's working on satellites. I'm sorry, they're both start with T. I'm sorry.
Yeah, we find out that Tim's actually a communications engineer.
Yeah, wants nothing to do with the cape and cowl. We're like, I guess, that's the end of that. And then the next suspect is the corporate guy. He is in league with the Joker crew, but he's not Joker himself.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, Terry and Bruce kind of like met up again after he saves Bruce, and then they're like, oh wait, this one and this one, they kind of connect, and Bruce was like, all right, put the suit back on.
Yeah. Terry figures out like Joker's stealing parts for like a signal blocker, and Tim works in that department. But two and two together is like, oh shit, I think Tim is Joker. He's the new Joker now.
Yeah, or he works for Joker.
He works for Joker.
I love that scene where when Terry goes to When Terry goes to Tim, you see like Tim just like working on the satellite, and then he's like, I heard you from a mile away.
Yeah.
I might be old, but the training's still there. I love that shit.
Yeah. Traps him in the room, and Terry has to use his batarangs to get out, and then he has traps him in the room, and he has to use the batarangs to get out.
No. He was just talking to him in the satellite, and then he's like, hey, I got nothing to do with it. The whole bat thing is behind me. I got a family and a son and a wife. And then he goes to the rich guy on the yacht.
Right, sorry. Yeah.
Yeah, it was like, no, Tim Drake doesn't immediately show his cards.
No, not Tim, I meant Terry. Because he escapes the room with turrets. You don't remember?
No, that was where Tim Drake was like a hologram.
Alright, sorry.
Yeah. This is his first time meeting Terry. Terry and Tim were like first time meeting and having a conversation.
Yeah.
Sorry.
After that, arresting the corporate guy, like Joker 6 the satellite on Terry, and they're like, this is some Man of Steel levels of destruction right here.
Man, it was this $14 billion nosebleed.
Yeah,
I was like, oh shit. Maybe Invincible copied Batman Beyond. Who knows?
And then he goes to the candy store, which he at least seriously injures one of the crew members because the guy was still on top when he knocks the tower down. We're like, well, he has no spine anymore.
Yeah.
But I'm sure he's not.
Okay, question.
dead.
I get it. That like Batman is Batman. He doesn't kill, and for sure, he didn't kill anybody in this movie. But what about the crew on that ship? He saves $1 billion, like the rich guy who's gonna be the president of Wayne Enterprises. But what about the staff and the people driving the boat?
No question. It's fine.
Oh, okay, cool.
But yeah, he confronts Tim again, and Tim, like, there's so much evidence to be like, I think Terry's just not a good detective. I'm sorry. But the reveal happens. You're like, oh shit. So he is Joker.
Yeah. So, look, we get tossed the whole Metal Gear Solid. Oh, my mind is in his head now.
Yeah, using a
I am
microchip.
actually, yeah, I am Liquid Snake, not Ocelot anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a very odd plot twist, but I kind of liked it.
Yeah.
And it explains like that shit was actually on his head the whole time.
Yeah.
Of all of his life ever since that incident.
Yeah. And I do love the fight between Terry and Joker, where Terry's just shit talking Joker, and Joker's just getting madder and madder. It's like, stop making fun of me. It's not funny.
You're not Batman. Tosses the grenades.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is a cool fight because like Terry like realizes, wait, I can talk too.
Yeah.
I'm not Batman.
Yeah.
And he even like makes fun of him. He's like, Batman doesn't talk to you, does he?
And then he gets to zap him with Joker's own electric
Joint
ring.
buzzer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he transforms him back to Tim because the microchip is destroyed.
Mm.
And then after that, Barb and Bruce. Well, Barb decides like, you know what, Tim's been through enough. I'm gonna make a alibi for him, so that he doesn't get arrested or get into serious
I could have
trouble.
sworn he went to jail. Could have sworn he went to jail.
Me too.
Last of
I'm
Us.
like, is this some Mandela effect I'm experiencing?
Same here, right? Like to everybody who watched this movie, don't you remember like Tim Drake like accepting his sins because he was like the Joker, and then like you see him in jail. I remember seeing Tim Drake in jail.
Bruce.
Yeah.
I like what Bruce says to Terry is that ultimately you are worthy of the mantle, and Batman doesn't make you special. You make Batman special. Like, wise words from Bruce.
Yeah, and then he finally visits Tim Drake like after years of ignoring him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then we end with Terry McGinnis as Batman protecting the city. Right. I think Gotham's in good hands.
Mm-hmm. And again, we get an amazing shot of the city. I can't get over the design of Batman Beyond. It's such a cool place. I know it's Gotham, but I'm like, it's such a cool place to look at.
Right. Oh, one of the final reveals is that Harley is not dead, and she's the grandma of the Double D.
The two.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we're like, how did you survive? You know what? Fuck it. Sure. If this microchip can exist, so you can survive.
Hey man, Barbara Gordon's walking again. So like, I don't know how you explain that. This is probably a different Earth.
Yeah, I was about to say, I don't think she ever got shot in the animated series.
Yeah, but I remember Joker saying that she recovered.
Are you sure you're not confused? Yeah.
No, because I remember Joker saying like, "Oh, little Barbara Gordon finally picking up the mantle, who finally recovered." Yeah, I'm like, what is that?
I don't know. Like, if someone in the comments can tell us if we missed a very important episode of Batman, the animated series, please tell us. But yeah, this was a pretty good movie. This is a pretty good movie, and like, this is one of the best DC animated movies. Like, DC animated movies as a whole, like, there's some that are like, this is pretty good. There are others where you're like, wow, this is pretty shit.
Yeah, yeah. I will say though, I do have a little bit of gripes or like nitpicks here and there. But I'll get to it once I get to the readings.
Yeah, like the other choices for the Kevin Conroy tribute were The Killing Joke, and I'm like, I'm not going to watch that again. Or Assault on Arkham, where it's like, well, Batman's barely in that. Period. Like less than here.
And you can't say Arkham Knights. Like it's completely different voice actors for Batman, and some of the animation there, he doesn't even talk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But what would you rate this movie?
Yeah. You know, I would rate this one a solid 8 out of 10. Like, the animation's amazing, and you could see the blend of, like, American and Japanese art styles blending well with the whole Batman Beyond art style.
Yeah.
And the plot was so fucking good. The plot twist was also really good. Like, this is my first time as a kid witnessing a plot twist. I was like, Robin as Joker? What? Like, that shit was crazy to me back in the day. Seeing Old Man Bruce, and I love saying that.
Yeah.
I will say, if this is your first Batman movie, you're not gonna get it. Like the characters and how they built themselves. Like, Terry and Bruce, they have a relationship that has already been established. But if this, like, you watching it for the first time without watching Batman Beyond, you're not gonna get why they have this relationship.
Yeah.
So, but for us, me and Enzo, we have watched Batman Beyond before. We get it. And we could gloss over that. They don't really dwell with the character of Terry. They don't really dwell with the character of Bruce. They mostly kind of dwell with more of the, how is Joker back?
Yeah.
When he's been dead for 40 years. And if you're a Batman fan and you have seen Batman Beyond, this is probably an amazing ride for you.
Yeah.
And I'll say it again. I love the art style. I love everything. Score is fucking amazing. The action, the ending, the payoff. It's short. It's an hour and 13 minutes, so you could actually just. It's pretty much just one Netflix episode.
Yeah.
So yeah, you could take time to just watch this for fun, and then try out Batman Beyond.
Yeah. Or the original series.
Or the original series. So 8 out of 10 for me.
Yeah, I'll also give this an 8 out of 10. Like, I do love the voice actors, especially Old Man Bruce, Kevin Conroy. What the hell is that? Yeah, but Old Man Bruce is pretty awesome. Like, I love Kevin Conroy in that role. Terry is amazing. Like you said, they already established, so if you do go into this, like, this is your first time, you'll get hella confused. You're like, why does Batman have a sidekick that's also Batman? And why is he retired? Why is this happening? But if you've been here since Batman Beyond, you're like, oh, I get the dynamic between Old Man Bruce and Terry McGinnis. And I do love hearing both Kevin Conroy and Mark Hamill play their respective roles. Because, like, that's also weird too. Like, every time Mark Hamill's the Joker and it's not Kevin Conroy, or vice versa, you're like, this is really off.
Right, I agree. Wait, wasn't it like it was Kevin Conroy and Troy Baker?
Yeah.
In like Origin, right? Or was it the other way around?
I think it was Kevin Conroy and Troy Baker for Batman versus TM and Team, the movie. You were like, this is off.
Well, around that time, Mark Hamill's probably doing Star Wars.
Yeah. But yeah, it's just off. Like, every time those two pop up, you're like, oh. Even if it's a fucking Lego game, like the latest DC Lego game that I downloaded for free, like, it's both Kevin Conroy and Mark Hamill. I'm like, you know what? Maybe a Lego game, but with these two voices, I am so into this Lego story, so why not? But yeah, 8 out of 10. And like, really funny, since we were talking about Arkham, the Arkham games, in this video, a really funny story I learned about is that Kevin Conroy didn't know about Arkham Origins, and he was in a panel, and they were like, so are you in the next Arkham game? And he's like, has that been announced? They're like, yeah. And he's like, yeah, I'm in the next Arkham game. Yeah. And they're like, yeah, Arkham Origins. He's like, Arkham what now? And they're like, Arkham Origins. What Arkham game are you talking about? And he's like, and then he gets a call from Warner Brothers saying, like, you're in serious breach of your contract. You can't go to Comic Cons anymore. It's like, but why? I love Comic Cons. He's like, fine, you can go, but there'll always be like a guy watching you, just in case you slip again.
Poor Kevin.
Yeah. And like ever since he unfortunately passed away, like I've been playing the Arkham games to be like, I need to hear his voice to honor him, because he's always been Batman to me, like the definitive Batman.
Man, I don't get what's up with 2022 taking away great heroes of ours. Like, come on, Green Ranger just passed away as well.
Right.
By the time we're filming this, Kevin Conroy's gone. My favorite artist, Kim Jung-gi's gone. He's also a very famous comic book illustrator. I was like, 2022 is taking so much.
Like, what's up with this
please, you're right. Mark Hamill, please. I hope you're okay.
Right. Knock on wood for that, Jesus. But yeah, now it's been our video for Batman Beyond: The Return of the Joker. What's your favorite Kevin Conroy Batman movie or game? Which Arkham game? Please comment down below. Oh yeah, he's also in Justice. I forgot to mention that. But yeah, please comment down below. Be cool. And if you want to see more of us here, please like, subscribe, and ding the bell icon to get notified of when we upload next. We also have a Spotify, Facebook, and TikTok under the same name. Facebook to see us react to trailers, stream video games, and about our lives. Maybe we'll stream an Arkham game. Let's see what happens.
You play it, please. I would love to see how you do it, and I'll just get it.
Sure. TikTok to see our best moments, and Spotify to hear us on the go. If you want to see us individually, I'm at Gandalfostan95 on IG and Twitter. How about you?
Oh, you can find me at JomGOM_on is my account.
And yeah, that's all the time we have for this video, at least. We hope to catch you in the next one. But yeah, that's all the time we have. Until next time, fellow geeks and degenerates, we'll catch you on the next one. Bye.
Yeah.